Hey guys, Wade Willis here for Wade's Read Reviews. Here to talk to you guys today about episode 39 of ReZero. I'm going to break down this episode and kind of go into the things that happened that I thought were important in this episode, as well as some of the things that I think are going to be keys in the future. And guys, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. Tons of anime reactions. I'm going to be releasing my top anime of 2020 list coming here pretty soon. Really excited for all this, and if you like the video, leave a like. First of all, guys, if you haven't already seen the Frozen Bond OVA, I feel like you need to watch it. One of my friends who reads the light novel for ReZero told me that I should probably watch this Frozen Bond OVA before we got to this second part of season 2. And I have to say, I completely understand where they were coming from, and I agree. I feel like it gave a lot more payoff in this episode. One, in the Frozen Bond OVA, I'm not going to go super into it, but we learn a lot more about Emilia and Puck and their bond and everything that led Emilia kind of to the point where she was living in the mansion. Not everything, but we got a pretty good snapshot of some of that, which was awesome. And I felt like everything that happened with her and Puck in this episode, it caused a much bigger emotional impact for me personally than if I wouldn't have seen the OVA. So if you haven't seen the OVA, watch it. It might make you like Emilia a lot more, because it did make me like Emilia a lot more. The first big key is the change in Subaru's maturity, and he's gone through a lot of stuff, and one of Subaru's kind of things to a fault is he is very like emotionally driven and acts out of emotion a lot of times. He is tactical sometimes, but I felt like after Otto kind of like beat some sense into him in the beginning of the episode, we saw a huge change in Subaru, and there were other factors that led to that switch. And believe me, I understand why Subaru is an emotional wreck all the time. Going through the stuff he's gone through and seen is horrific, and he was really stuck between a rock and a hard place coming into this episode. And guys, Otto has become one of my favorite characters, not only in ReZero, but just in anime, period. He is like the best friend you could ever hope for. I love the guy. I'd love to hear what you guys think about Otto so far. But I didn't ever expect him to grow into this important of a character. I just kind of thought he was going to be a side character that was kind of driven by money and stuff. And then we see he's a straight ride or die homie, and I love Otto. He's awesome, and he is playing major roles in this season. And this episode, he was basically the catalyst to everything that happened. I talked about him kind of becoming more mature. His actions towards Roswaal, after finding out that Roswaal has set up this, chessboard that is rigged for you to lose people you care about, and to go and make the bet with Roswaal, because this is really the only way that he could get Roswaal back on his side. And the fact that Roswaal did all these horrible things, but Subaru has the maturity to realize, like, yeah, he did this, it's messed up. And he said, like, yeah, my heart's going to have to deal with that. I haven't, like, forgiven you, but I know you need to be on my side. That was really impressive for me with Subaru. And he's really growing as a protagonist. And, yeah, a lot of it's due to his friends, but him as a person, it is truly remarkable seeing the growth of him as a character. Whereas in the first part of the season, he was really like losing his humanity and stuff, and it seems like he's gotten like kind of like revitalized with a lot of stuff. Some of it has to do with Otto, some of it has to do with the witches kind of helping him out and stuff, and he's able to see things from other people's perspectives a lot better. And Yeah, he's just overall a really great protagonist now. And he's gonna have some parts where we're disappointed in him, I can tell, but having the intellect and like taking his emotion out of it and realizing, okay, I'm gonna need this guy on my side. I can't necessarily trust him. I know he has kind of uh wouldn't say they're the right intentions. He does have kind of positive intentions, even though he's going about them in horrible ways. And Roswell's essentially like kind of dead inside. Um, and Roswell is kind of, if Subaru kept going down the return by death path that he was going towards, he would kind of turn into Roswell. That's like the type of person he could turn into. So, but yeah, Roswell's so strong. He's gonna need him on his side, um, which is gonna really interest me for like season 3. Who is the main person that he's gonna be fighting against? We've seen Satella, um, and I know that Satella kind of has two sides. So I guess the bad side is what we're. I guess the bad side is what we're gonna have him fighting against. Maybe there's gonna be a whole other force that we don't know about yet. But I feel like the stuff with the mansion and the sanctuary is going to be resolved in this season. And if Roswell's not the main antagonist anymore, who is going to be the main antagonist? Second big key in this was kind of learning a lot more about Ryuzu and Garfield. We learned that there were basically the first four Ryuzus, which are the little elf girls that are the old hags, and they've been around. The first four have been around probably, I can't remember the exact years, but like hundreds of years. And the four of them were in charge of kind of making sure that more copies were being made. We learned that one of them, one of the four, had actually been kind of exiled because she went in the graveyard to save Garfield because he did a trial, went and did the trial that he wasn't supposed to do. So we learned a little bit. Garfield's mom left, abandoned him and his sister. Subaru thought, oh, does Garfield hate his mom, and is that why he is the way he is? And the Ryuzu that he was talking to there told him that no, he actually took the name of his mom. So whether it's him doing that because he doesn't want to forget or out of sadness, like that's something you're going to have to ask him and the Ryuzu that saved him, which that is Ryuzu Shima. And that's the one we've seen in the white, I believe, with him, like in the graveyard thing before. So that's interesting with him. And I think that was really important to know. And I like his character a lot. Garfield's very interesting, and I hope. And it looks like the next episode we're probably going to dig in a lot deeper to him and Emilia, so I'm excited for that. The third one was Puck breaking his contract with Emilia, and I don't know about you guys, but that really crushed me. And that's why I was suggesting that you should watch the OVA, and if you watch the OVA after, the OVA will probably crush you just seeing how tight their bond was. And I have so many questions of who Puck is. And guys, if you've read the light novels, don't tell us here, don't spoil it. But I kind of have I feel like it's his Emilia's mom. Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see that. But just seeing that bond being broken and Emilia really being crushed by it because Puck was the one person she could count on since she woke up from the ice. And Puck essentially says, "Hey, I'm leaving you in the only like person's hands who loves you almost as much as I do, which is Subaru, obviously." And him breaking this contract with her, Puck loves Emilia, but has to break this contract in order for, I believe, for her memories to come back. And Again, this is why I think the OVA is going to be important, because think it foreshadowed some of the things that we're going to learn about Emilia. So, really intrigued for that. How I saw the end of the episode, I thought that Subaru kind of left Emilia alone to kind of make her get these memories and like force her to kind of go through all this stuff on her own and see her past. And if Subaru was there kind of nurturing her, it probably could have prevented her from actually going through this process. And they are kind of on a time crunch. So that's how I saw the end of that episode. Um, if you disagree, let me know in the comments, because I'm curious of other people's interpretations. But yeah, maybe they're going to explain it better in the next episode, which I kind of assume they're going to do. And I'm a bit unsure of how Otto is going to deal with Garfield. Um, that was interesting that Otto is the one kind of one on one with Garfield. Like, it's not going to be a fight to the death, because that's obviously Otto would get destroyed. Although we did see Otto has some like solid fighting skills in the beginning of the episode. So to me, it looks like the next episode is going to really focus on Garfield and his past and Emilia and her past. And I'm sure there's going to be um, a lot of similarities, because both of them, I think, are, yeah, they're both half blood. So I think there's going to be some interesting overlapping, and we're going to be able to kind of compare and contrast those two lives. But I'd love to hear what you guys thought of the episode. To me, I thought this episode was absolutely amazing. I love ReZero. It's one of my favorite shows, period, anime or regular show. And they really set this up for this last part of season 2 really well. The maturity, growth of Subaru was so impressive to me. I loved all the stuff that we learned about Ryuzu, Garfield, like the different characters in the show. And I'm so intrigued to see what happens in the rest of the season. It looks like Subaru's really trying to go all in on this actual loop, which would be pretty awesome. We've been in the same like time period for about, I think, like 10 episodes now. I could be off one or two, but I would be kind of excited to see them get past this. The way they've gone through this time loop for this like save point has been really amazing, but I would like to see them kind of get through this soon. I do think that they're not going to get through it until like maybe the last episode, or probably the second to last, and then we're going to end up the next time loop. There's going to be some messed up thing, and that's how the season will end. But I'm super excited for this. I'd love to know what you guys thought about the episode, and I'm going to be doing the live reactions and then kind of deeper analysis videos for ReZero for every episode this season. So yeah, guys, if again, subscribe, like the video, it helps a ton.